some of the challenges that we see in the modern age, or the modern Christianity, I would call it, are becoming worse and worse. I observe that we are people who have a form of religion, but we lack substance. We lack the depth in our journey with God. We live in a very hyped up culture of make-believe, and we have these branded life, because we are very prone to follow people who are a brand or who are a celebrity. And even in our faith system, somehow we have this image of people and we follow them, not even realizing what kind of life they live in. It's shocking and it's frightening when I see these things. Unfortunately, many are deceived. So we follow a very hyped up culture. We follow the trends, we follow the brands, and we bring that culture into faith as well. And we have this form of knowledge. And because we have this knowledge at our footstep, we have on the phones, we see it on the TV, and we can listen to all the sermons and teachings from all over the world. People have built up this sense of pride that they know it better. And as a minister and as a preacher, if your sermon does not have these Facebook or Twitter savvy quotes, then you're literally failing. The churches are becoming empty, because it's not because the preachers have drifted away from the gospel. It's just people now have become very hyped up about Christian faith, and many of the pastors don't know how to keep up with the pace. Today I want to introduce to you a brand new concept, and the concept is jellyfish Christianity. Jellyfish are colorful and they're mesmerizing, yet they are dangerous. They can attract you. They glow in the dark and they are very, very enticing, but they are dangerous. Jellyfish lack substance because they are made up of 98% of water. They don't have substance. When I say they don't have substance, it means they don't have brain, they don't have heart, they don't have bone, head, or any organ. And not only that, they also don't have fins and they don't have tails. They lack substance. But they are gracious, they are beautiful, they're mesmerizing, they're enticing, and they're one of the deadliest creatures upon the earth. And the form of Christianity we find these days, or the form of believers we see in the world, are jellyfish Christians. There is no substance in them. Yet there is glamour and glitz and colorfulness and enticement, but no substance, no backbone, no heart, no brain to reason, no fins, no tail. Do you know that jellyfish can't swim? They are in the ocean, but they cannot swim, because they don't have fins and they don't have tails. They have a movement, but they're only dependent on the currents of the ocean. They don't have a movement where they can swim to a destination where they need to be. They are very much dependent on the movement of the current. And that's why in hundreds they can all of a sudden end up in a shore And you wake up in the morning and say this, and there's a news that there's hundreds of jellyfish on the beach. Why? Because they are very much dependent on the current, and if the current takes them to the shore, they have no control over it because they don't know how to swim. They don't have the backbone, they can't fight it, they have this movement, but they have no control, and they just fall part of every current, every wave that comes in. And that's what's happening with Christianity. Every kind of waving just floats in the Christians. Every kind of current, we just get into it. And sometime when we have the church chat group, some of you should quote Quran and Bhagavad Gita. Do you even know that? Because you saw a fancy quote, somebody forwarded it to you, and you will just put it in a public chat, thinking it's a very good Christian quote. Meanwhile, it's coming from a different kind of faith. We lack substance. Like jellyfish, we don't have the spiritual brains to reason, to think. Like jellyfish, we don't have the backbone to stand. Like jellyfish, there is no heart for us to have some kind of sense of belongings or emotions or zeal for the things of God. Jellyfish, they just float around and they wait for the current. They just float around. They blend in with the environment so easily. Sometimes they're right in the water, but you can't even see them, because they blend in with the environment. Sometimes they go into a colorful reef, and all of a sudden their color starts to change because they blend in with the environment. Some of you have been working at your workplaces, but people still don't know that you are a Christian because you're so good to blend in. Muslims will stand out, Hindus will stand out, but you will never find Christian standing out in a secular environment, because we have become jellyfish Christians. We know how to blend in. We just know how to change colors. We just know how to change talks. Some of us, if we hear you on the weekdays at workplace, we wouldn't even know it's you, because your language, your persona, everything is different about you. We have this blended Christianity. We float around and we know how to blend with the environment. Rolling gently in this current, then the next current's coming on Sunday, then we're rolling gently into that current. Monday comes, there's a different current coming in, we roll gently into that, and we keep moving, but we don't have the movement, the vision, the heart, and the mind of our own. We have become jellyfish. Are you with me? When they wash up into a shore, they can just disappear after a few hours. Why? Because they're made up of 98% water, so their body evaporates. And a jellyfish that can be this size, by the time you reach it in an hour, will be shrunk to this. Gone. All the water is gone. They just floated in. They cannot survive the hostility. And that's what has happened with the Christian faith. We get offended like this. We get into a shore and it's not something comfortable of an environment, and there we are, spiritually dead and gone. We don't know how to take even discipline and correction in the church environment anymore. We made up this soft jelly water, and everything is so mesmerizing and colorful. But let us just confront the little bit hostility and the opposition and the challenge. All our faith just goes and just evaporates in the sky, and it's gone and left nothing of us. Just a small speck that people come, oh, there's jellyfish all dried up. Because it doesn't have substance. Because it doesn't have substance, it has no fight within it. And many of you are losing your battles because there is no spiritual substance in you. You're struggling a battle with addiction. You're struggling a battle at home. You're trying to keep peace with things, but you're losing your battle because there is no substance. Harsh environment can literally cripple you off from your faith. That's how fragile the Christianity has become. Everything offends us. Everything. We'll look for small things, small words. We're sitting in the presence of God, but we will have this mind. What next is going to happen? How that sister is dressed up? What did pastor say? Why would he use that word? And we will get offended by small, petty things because there is no substance in us. We have come to a faith in this era. It's like a jellyfish faith. Enticing and appealing, but it lacks substance. Going no way, but keeping trapped. Our lives cannot be afloat. We are part of a movement of God. And we are called fish, not jellyfish. We are called fish that have a backbone and have a strong to even swim against the current. The current that can come our way, and we know it's not a godly current, and we are going to resist with every part of our being. And we do that because we are called to stand out and not fall part of. We are called to carry the substance. And the only way you can have a substance, and I'm not talking about the decoration of an outer side of you. I'm not talking about the good suit and the clothes and the shoes and how you smell, because you can be all glowing in the dark but you're still a jellyfish. I'm not talking about the outer beauty. I'm talking about the inner substance. Inner substance. And that inner substance can only come when Jesus is the center of your life. We are not called to float around. We are not called to be part of every wave and every current. We must strive for substance if we want to live as a Christian with a Christ-centered life. We must strive for substance.